Hi, I'm Mark Norell, and I'm chairman of the Division of Paleontology at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. And welcome to the Silk Road. This is an exhibit which really represents about 3-4 years of work on our behalf and museums around the world to bring the ancient Silk Road to life. Really, to me, what this exhibit is about, and sort of the impetus for getting it started, was just how little is known about the Silk Road amongst common people today. When people think of the Silk Road, they all think of silks coming from China all the way across Central Asia, through the Middle East to Europe. But really, the Silk Road was a lot more than that. Not only did goods move from the east to the west, but a lot of things moved from the west to the east. Some of the notable examples are fine examples of metallurgy, glass, which was unknown basically in Tang Dynasty China, and as precious as many precious gemstones like diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. It was a Middle Eastern invention. It was known to the Romans, it was known to the Phoenicians, but the secret of glassmaking never really got out until quite recently in China, much later on. Other things like silk were precious commodities in Europe, and it's really what the Silk Road was named for. But the Silk Road wasn't always even called the Silk Road. The Silk Road was only coined in the late 19th century by a German anthropologist who was working on it. Before that, it was just a system known as a system of trails and caravan routes that existed all the way from the Pacific Ocean on the borders of China to the Atlantic Ocean on the borders of Europe. And it wasn't just one trade route, it was a network of trade routes that moved both east-west as well as north to south that carried everything from precious stones to spices to all sorts of metals to, most importantly, and something which I think is often disregarded, ideas. I mean, the world's major religions of Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, all flowed back and forth along the Silk Road. I think that a lot of people don't really realize just how cosmopolitan also China was during the heyday, or during the high point of the Silk Road. During the later part of the Tang Dynasty, the city of Xi'an, called Chang'an in those times, was the largest city on earth with over 1 million people. It was really a diverse cosmopolitan place with Buddhist sections, Christian sections, Confucian sections, Islamic sections. It was a place where cultures, ideas, and philosophy came to mind. A lot of other places throughout Central Asia, the cities of Samarkand and the cities of Baghdad, which are so often today associated with warfare, with very extreme forms of Islam, which really aren't often thought of as being very progressive in looking at science, were some of the world's greatest learning centers at the time, where everything from modern astronomy was developed to some of the great libraries of the world. So I hope you'll enjoy looking at the objects, learning about the stories of this great city of Chang'an, about the oasis towns like Turfan, about the great learning center of Samarkand, the library at Baghdad, and then something about your own country and the contribution of the maritime kingdoms of Italy to this story. It's a fascinating story. It continues to have repercussions today, and it's one which I hope you'll enjoy. Thank you.